This this is why Kurt Angle went to TNA. So here he is, and don't forget, 2022 is the best. Here he is.
I had two neck surgeries, broken bones, and I was still wrestling full time. I was not getting any time off. And I talked to Dixie Carter of TNA, and she said, Kurt, whenever you don't feel good, whenever you're injured, you don't have to wrestle. And if you don't want to show up for TV for some reason, for some problem that you're having, you don't have to do that. We'll still pay you. And it was like, actually, somebody really cares about me. I wasn't just some piece of meat. And I had a lot of opportunities passed up in Hollywood because Vince McMahon kind of passed them up, wouldn't let my career explode onto the acting circuit where I wanted to go. Dixie Carter has done the opposite. She's actually went out and gotten me movie parts, and so she thinks the more popular I get, the more popular TNA gets. Vince is the other way. He wants to keep it contained. He has his own WWE films. Actually, I was going to be in his next movie before I quit, but it just, to me, it just wasn't worth the money being there.
Shut up! Everybody hates you, and blah blah blah. When you went to TNA, you suck. Now, when you come back, if you come back to WWE, you get powerful. You moron.
WWE, we're getting 2 hours in October, so that's good. 2 hours on Spike.
Were they really upset when you left?
I was their top talent. I was making the most money on the roster, therefore being in the most main events, utilized the most at every house show, every TV, every pay-per-view. Yeah, they lost a big wrestler. They lost their biggest wrestler. So Vince McMahon was very upset with me, but one thing he did that I commend him on is he did release me. I had 5.5 years left. I just signed a new contract for 5 more years, and I thought I was stuck. And I was very sad and very upset going into a meeting with him when I asked to quit. And he got very angry at me, but at the end, he saw that I was hurting deeply inside, and he didn't want to feel that guilt, I don't think. And he said, Kurt, I'll let you go. And you know what, in 6 months, if you want to come back, come on back. And I commend him for that because, he didn't know it, but I already had my eyes set on TNA. But thank God I got here, and it's great because it's so exciting because every week our ratings keep going up just a little bit, little by little. And it's exciting to be a part of that, TNA started from nothing 5 years ago. Now we're, mainstream, right there, almost there with WWE. We're actually equal to the ratings with ECW. We're only 1 point behind Raw. So, yeah, we're actually growing very quickly.
Raw's the best, so screw you.
Ratings, they just did their worst rating in the last 7 years this past week. But TNA, there's a new program in town. There's a new show in town, and people are loving it. So I'm glad I'm a part of it.
So do you think part of the rating slip is because there's too much talking on the other ones and not enough wrestling?
I think it's, things are stale. Guys are getting hurt. They don't have as much talent as people think they do. They have the ideal 6'4", 275-pound monster-looking guy, but that isn't going to flip the bill. When it comes down to it, people want to see performance at pay-per-views. We got some of the best wrestlers in the world. Our X division alone is worth the money in pay-per-view. And then you add the heavyweight division with me, Samoa Joe, Christian, Abyss, Sting. We got 15 main eventers in the main event right now, and then we have our X division. You can't get a better wrestling company. WWE doesn't even pale in comparison to the talent in TNA's roster. That's another reason why I went down to TNA is because I saw how many guys that I could have tremendous matches with. And WWE, I started getting limited near the end. I was looking around saying, geez, where do I go next? Mark Henry, Batista? Those guys weren't real good wrestlers. Even John Cena will admit he's not a good wrestler. He's a great entertainer. But as far as wrestling, he gets the job done, but he's not one of them.
You biatch retard. Batista is the world heavyweight champion, and you're not. Give me one reason that you're not. And Mark Henry, he may be a fat boy, but he's really freaking strong, and so is John Cena. And Batista's really freaking strong, so I don't know why you're doubting him, retard.
WWE, and you want to be a part of that roster and have to work that much. And every wrestler can make their own decision. Eddie Guerrero, God bless him, God rest his soul. he made the decision to keep going full time. I think Eddie should.
Good. Well, I mean, good. I mean, well, sorry for Eddie, but Kurt Angle did something right.
These guys made their own decisions to continue to wrestle. What they should have done is quit. I saw myself in Eddie's position. I saw myself in Chris's position, kind of losing it mentally, you know. It was just too much for me, and I made the decision to quit. And so you can't blame Vince McMahon and WWE for that. You know, you work as...
Let's blame you.
You're working for yourself. So if you don't feel well and you don't feel right, it's time to get out. It's time to go on to something else. And there is a new show in town, TNA. If you can't go to TNA because they won't sign you, you can always go over to Japan for 10 weeks a year and still make a good living. I mean, there's always an option. You can always be an agent. You don't have to wrestle anymore. But you know, these guys, I think they just made the wrong decisions, and God bless them. I mean, I love Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit. You know, I have mixed feelings about what he did. But, you know, they made their own decision to do what they did. And you can't blame Vince McMahon for that, or WWE.
Folks, what we said, Kurt Angle is a mother HF word, and Eddie Guerrero did not die of exhaustion, he died of drugs. And Chris Benoit died because he killed himself and his family, okay? So I don't know what the heck is Kurt Angle talking about, but I do think that he is retarded, and Merry Christmas.